Even though the Pale King believed that Hallownest would last eternal, it's clear that it didn't, falling to ruin from the infection. But the Pale King is a Wyrm, said to have abilities of foresight, so why wouldn't he have been able to predict such a thing? What's more, what if he actually did predict it, and therefore knew it would inevitably happen? I'll be explaining my speculations in this video. I think there is some evidence that supports the Pale King knowing about the kingdom's fall, and some that suggests him not having known. The biggest case for the former is the Dreamnail dialogue of the deceased giant fungal creature in the fungal core, which reads, "Pale Wyrm, what good to foresee a demise inevitable?" We know that the Mushroom Clan accepted the Pale King's rule largely because they trusted his foresight abilities. This dialogue has a good point. If the kingdom was going to fall no matter what, why go to such desperate attempts as he did to try and save it? Why not just accept the end? If the king did know that Hallownest would fall, perhaps his pride led him to be in denial of what was to come. There's also a chance that he knew the kingdom would fall eventually, but wanted to keep it alive for as long as he could before that happened. Possibly the most incriminating evidence is the king taking his palace into the dream realm with him. If he knew that Hallownest would fall, the palace would serve as a sort of apocalypse shelter. Not only would he be safe from any physical dangers that came upon Hallownest, but he would not have to see the impending destruction or be held accountable by his subjects for not being able to circumvent it. He may have only promised that Hallownest would last eternal so that they would have false hope and not guess the truth. However, there is also some evidence that the Pale King somehow didn't know what would happen to the kingdom. For one thing, we don't know the full extent of his foresight abilities. Perhaps he doesn't necessarily predict what absolutely will happen, but only sees possible futures and outcomes of events. If this were the case, he may have known that Hallownest could fall, but not that it was certain. After all, he did take measures to prevent the kingdom's collapse, probably because he could see possible futures where it would work and figured that they were more likely to come true than any ones he saw where his actions ultimately failed, if he saw any such futures of failure at all. I think the biggest piece of evidence suggesting that the Pale King didn't know about the fall of the kingdom is what he did with the vessels. He obviously said, "no cost too great," and it seems more likely that he would say that about something he was certain or at least very faithful about, and not something that was destined to fail. This is especially considering how drastic and desperate his actions were, and how much sacrifice was involved. He clearly loved the pure vessel and didn't see them as solely a tool, because he bonded with them as displayed in the memory behind the Path of Pain. Then again, that memory could also be seen as proof that he knew the vessel would fail anyway, and so it didn't matter if he bonded with them or not, but that makes it seem strange that he would go to such lengths to hide the memory. As sure of himself as he believed himself to be, maybe there were some things he really just didn't know, or even couldn't know. Even higher beings are mortal after all. Usually when I make a video that asks a question like this, I have a conclusive answer at the end, but this time I don't. I still wanted to share the evidence I came up with for both of these possibilities, though. Based on what I've discussed, what do you think the answer is? Do you believe that the Pale King did know about Hallownest's fall? That he genuinely didn't know? Or are you unsure like me? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel and turning on notifications if you do. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.